Introducing to you our referee in charge of this bout, we have Jorge Alonso. Introducing our challenger on my left, fighting out of the blue corner in our main event, wearing white trunks with blue trim, hailing from Ocotlan, Jalisco, Mexico. He weighed in at 117.5 pounds. His record stands at 25 wins, 12 losses, and 1 draw, with 16 wins coming by way of knockout. He is ranked the IBF number 13 contender in the Bantamweight division. Please welcome tonight's challenger, introducing Sergio Aguila. And his opponent across the ring, presenting the defending champion. On my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red trunks and hailing from Cincinnati, Ohio. He weighed in at the bantamweight limit of 118 pounds even. His record is undefeated at 18 wins, no losses, 1 draw, with 17 big wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, in the 3rd defense of the title, here is one of the young stars of boxing. Here is the undefeated IBF Bantamweight champion of the world, known as the Cincinnati Kid, introducing Tim Austin. Once again, Jorge Alonso, our referee in charge, now to give instructions.
Tim. All right, gentlemen, you're fighting for the championship of the world, okay? You're going 10 rounds of boxing or less. You received the instructions earlier in the dressing rooms, okay? I want you to keep this fight clean, obey my commands, and at all times, number 1, protect yourself, okay? Do you have any questions from the chief second here? Yo doy las instrucciones a usted anteriormente en el camerino, ¿ok? Quiero una pelea limpia. Cuando digo break, me das un paso atrás. No me tires golpe después de la campana. ¿Alguna pregunta aquí? ¿Pregunta? ¿Toquen guantes? La esquina.
Good move, putting in a referee that speaks the language of one of the fighters. Tim Austin, a fast starter, over half of his KOs in the first round, 9 of 17, as the 5th highest KO percentage among current world champions. And the challenger, Sergio Aguila, 12 losses in 37 fights, knocked out 7 times, but in fairness, most of his setbacks early in his career, after starting out 10 and 12, he's 14-0-1 with 8 knockouts. And I asked him why the difference all of a sudden. He said it's due to conditioning and also the fact that he has surrounded himself with better people. But he feels mostly it's that he is better conditioned of late. Tim Austin said he hadn't seen any tapes of Aguila. Doesn't seem to be that concerned.
Right now, if you watch, Aguila is just following Austin around. Tim's moving to, obviously he's a southpaw, he's moving to his right. And Aguila's kind of just stepping and following him, not really cutting him off, not really looking to compromise his stance or his punches.
Austin, a southpaw, says he's been working on different techniques in the gym by watching throwback fights involving people like Jersey Joe Walcott with the walk-away move, his fellow Cincinnati fighter Aaron Pryor going to the body and head with combinations.
Anybody that tries to fight like Jersey Joe Walker is going to end up a confused fighter. Nobody can figure that guy out. He'd walk away, he'd throw jabs from nowhere, and he was incredible to watch.
Well, after surviving and thriving with a broken jaw for 7 rounds, Austin told us he has the confidence to overcome just about any obstacle.
I would think so.
Yeah. Aguila perhaps a bit over-dramatic when he said to us, "I've come here to fight to the death." It's basically
that's a lot of fighting.
That's a lot of fighting. As Bobby pointed out, basically a straight-in guy, walks right in.
Nice right hand right down the middle, caught squarely on the nose of Timmy Austin.
That was the first good punch in this whole round. They've just been like looking at each other, pity-patty. Might as well be in the gym looking in the mirror. They're just not fighting at all.
Austin has a nice counter left hand. We showed that before against Kaspari on the telestrator. He also has a wicked right hook to the body when he sets it up well. And I saw him try make one attempt at that right hand to the body, but nothing serious yet. He seems to be taking his time, finding his rhythm.
Yeah, it looks like the kind of thing that Austin does where all of a sudden he's bipping and then he drops a bomb. You know, we've seen him do it so much on the tapes. It just looks like he's playing along and then all of a sudden he drops an atom bomb.
He's always very patient.
Don't do that now.
Might even get caught, as we just saw with some shots early. as we did see against Kaspari. He says that happens because he's trying to get his rhythm down and sometimes leaves himself open.
There's the punches I'm talking about.
There's that overhand left that I explained about on the television. He has a very quick and very powerful overhand left.
Austin, a terrific counter puncher. He just sees the openings. Very good placement with his punches.
There goes that neck now.
He has great eyes. Got great vision.
Everything. Good footwork, slippery moves, can throw and retreat. Superior boxing skills. Just usually flat out boxes his opponents. Great hand speed. Very evident. And he makes people pay when you miss. Speed, range, and smarts are his three main attributes.
Just step in with your jab, all right? You know how we work? You're going to sit and catch like this here. Send that left hand up and then send it back over. Rinse your throw. All right, Tim? Send it under and over. Step in with your jab and keep your foot on the outside. You got foot here. Step back in with your jab. You don't have to move so much. Step around. Don't move. All right? You'll be able to hit him. Just start running your combinations on him. All he's doing is bobbing and weaving, all right? Start throwing some shots.
No esperes que te tire, presiónalo, presiónalo, presiónalo.
Pressure,
Primero
pressure.
tú primero,
You
por
gotta go
primero,
first.
Sergio. Por dentrito. ¿Me estás escuchando? Por
Are you
dentrito,
listening to
Sergio.
me? You
Ese
first.
peleador ya sintió lo que eres capaz de hacer.
Now he's
Y lo vas
already
a seguir
felt what you can do
haciendo.
with
Se
that
va a
right
desmoronar
hand.
en 5 rounds.
¿Te prendió? ¿Te prendió?
No lo prendió.
Okay.
No lo prendió.
No hizo nada.
Did he hurt you? Did he catch you? No. He said, no, he hasn't hurt me. So they took a lot of interpretation of that one right hand he landed in the entire round. I mean, you got to be an optimistic cornerman to think that's great.
Yeah, but I think the cornerman was correct. Aguila has got to go forward. If he's going backwards, he cannot come close to beating Austin. If Austin goes backwards, he can still fight. He can fight going forward. Aguila cannot fight going backwards.
See, that's the punch where he's just pity-patting and then he turns loose.
Gorgeous combination to the head there, then followed up by a right hook by Tim Austin to the face of Aguila. A perfectly timed countering straight left ended matters in Austin's last fight against Kaspari. A countering right hook proved to be the final blow against Palelo Bertelli for the title. So he can do it with either hand.
Now that combination sure should have caught Aguila's attention.
You know, I was so impressed with Gamboa in the last fight. I went back through his record. He was knocked out in 1 and in 5 back in 94 and 96. That must have been some fighter, some puncher anyway, because he showed a terrific chin tonight.
Maybe he was just starting in his career.
Aguila told us his record against Southpaws. He claims is 4-0 with 2 knockouts. He hasn't lost since 1995. But this is a daunting task here in front of him tonight. The man in red, Tim Austin, punching left, missing with the right, but landing with that vicious left hook. Is Tim Austin.
The left hand is landing clean, Steve.
Yes, indeed.
He's not offering any kind of resistance. He's not fighting back with any kind of force, and he's getting clocked. And you can't do that with Tim Austin, or you'll be bye-bye. He will be an eagle in flight pretty soon.
Aguila cannot have his back to the ropes, and he cannot be going backwards. He has to come forward and move his head. He just has to get out of the way of that left hand.
Aguila being manhandled here by the champion, who basically likes to throw combinations and finish with the left hook. That's his knockout punch. Just missed with that left hook.
And there's that follow-up right hook to the body. That one might have been a little south of the border.
Oh, those uppercuts.
Austin 18-0-1 with 17 knockouts. 3-0 in world title fights. His third defense, 92 Olympic bronze medalist at flyweight at Barcelona.
Austin cleaning up. I mean, anything he wants to throw, he's throwing with impunity. Nothing's coming back the other way.
He wants to unify this division and then move up. He really wants Johnny Tapia. They say that Tapia runs away from him and that Nanakanadu wants nothing to do with him either. That's Aaron Snow, his trainer, talking.
Not too many fighters want a sharp, smooth boxing southpaw can punch because they're all very difficult to fight.
I'd like to see Austin, assuming he can get by Aguila here, fight Jorge Julio.
I think it would be a great fight. I think, though, Austin's clearly the talent.
Well, by all rights, tonight it should be Austin versus Julio. That would make more sense.
I wouldn't mind him fighting Gamboa.
That too, the way he performed tonight, right? A guy we virtually unheard of until tonight.
Well, Austin having his way 2 rounds in a row. Nothing exciting going on.
Listen to me. Let's make it an easy night. Double jab, that left hand under here. Then bring it straight up the middle. Right hand around here to his body, up the middle. All right, don't head HUD so much. All right, don't start throwing body shots, just slow him up.
That overhand left of Timmy Austin's just a beautiful thing. Right on the money there. He hits Aguila right in the ear. He just rocks backward, right down the middle, and Aguila can't get out of the way of it. Again, third one, and he's just not moving his head to the side and getting out of the way of it. And when he does, he doesn't counter.
Correcto, ha habido peleadores más duros que este, ¿sí?
So you got to throw punches harder than you're throwing.
Bien, perfectamente bien. No te ha tocado, ya te dio sus mejores golpes, no te ha hecho nada.
That's the new world's record for false confidence.
Wow. I mean, Austin cleaned up on him.
A little more realistic in the Tim Austin corner. Aaron Snowell has trained several world champions, including Mike Tyson and Frankie Randall. He was with Tyson when Tyson lost to Buster Douglas in Tokyo. Aguila looks pretty easy to hit, doesn't he?
Well, he stands straight up, Steve, and he doesn't really have a lot of head side-to-side movement. He blocks fairly well, keeps his hands pretty tight, but he is not a very mobile guy, and he's not real quick.
And he's not fighting back. I mean, he's coming forward to do nothing. He has no punch. He hasn't put anything together meaningful. I don't think he's hit Austin really hard, except for the first right hand.
Austin continues to have his way, says he feels 100% physically, no problems with the jaw. That's back in high gear, no hand problems. He did break his thumb years ago at the Ohio State Fair, no problems there.
There was a beautiful counter. Austin stepped to the side and slipped a shot and brought a left uppercut right up the pipe. It was a beautiful punch.
Well, you heard his corner say, let's not make this a hard night. Let's make it an easy night. Just keep on boxing. That's exactly what he did, making it an easy night.
But Aaron Snowell two-toe him right down the middle and come right up the middle because Aguila squares off, comes straight. There's not really too far to go to look for him.
Yeah. I'm surprised he hadn't thrown more uppercuts the way this guy's leaning into him. Austin with an uppercut will take this guy's head off.
Little cut over the right eye of Tim Austin.
Where did that come from?
He got hit.
Well, that just came out, developed out of nowhere.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't see that as a bump in head. And this guy hadn't landed anything hard enough to pop up and unless he brought it in here from the gym. Unless he had a little.
There's the cut now. You can see it's more evident as the blood comes down.
Not so. I mean, it's like a little.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be bothering. Well, after what this guy's been through, I don't think a little cut's going to affect him. There's a good straight left first. Decent punch by Aguila. It lands.
Tim Austin almost appears as if he's trying to work and just stay busy, not really getting in any hurry, not really getting too mean or putting bad intentions on some of the shots, just being a workman-like boxer and not going crazy yet.
Yeah, it's like a gym workout. He's just like working out his stuff, and you know, when the time comes, he'll finish the show.
But he doesn't want to wait too long because that could be dangerous.
Oh, beautiful. He rocked on that left hand and let it go.
And there's a left hook followed by another left hook that missed. Now he's just all over Aguila.
And he's going to the body, giving him something to remember him by when he gets in the corner and breaking him down.
Austin peppering Aguila with combinations to the head and to the body. The cut, Aaron Snowell doubles as the cut man. Round 4 scheduled for 12 for the IBF Bantamweight Championship. It's been all Austin, the champion in red.
So you can watch when the right hand is fired by Aguila, he rocks back on his weight like that, leans backward, and then fires that left hand, coming in with all his weight and all his power and good speed.
And accuracy. Accuracy.
The online scores have it all Tim Austin.
Yeah, this one's no problem. This is a no-brainer.
They're coming off a highly controversial first fight for the WBO Bantamweight title in which most thought Julio Gamboa beat the champ, Jorge Julio. But Jorge Julio won the split decision.
Tough to take a champion's belt in a very close fight. Tough. I mean, it really is.
How many times have we seen that happen?
Yep. Takes him half the fight to wake up to the fact.
Oh! Out of nowhere, Tim Austin is down for the first time in his career.
Big left hook, and he's hurt. His legs are not completely under him. He never saw it, Steve. I guarantee you that one caught him looking.
Wow, would this be an upset? Would this be an upset?
Out of nowhere, after Tim Austin was
Austin is in trouble, Steve. He's in genuine trouble.
Aguila airing it out, pouring it on against the wobbly Tim Austin, who was decked for the first time in his career seconds ago.
Look at the trouble the referee is having.
1 point. Hold it here.
He's taking a point away.
I'll tell you why.
From Austin for holding.
Timmy Austin grabbed the ropes and wouldn't let go of them when the referee said break. That's why he took the point.
Desperate measures here by the champion, Tim Austin, finding himself in this situation for the first time.
But look at the time he bought by that referee doing that. He bought time to clear his head, and he's still in trouble.
Aguila is not a big puncher and not a finisher.
Remember now, this is the same guy who fought 7 rounds with a broken jaw to win the title a few fights ago against Botelli, and here he comes back. He's a gallant guy, but tasting the canvas for the first time in his career, that's a different story.
Well, that's a 10-8 round. Then you take another point. It's a 10-7 round, and he evened up the fight.
A disastrous round for the champion, Tim Austin, out of nowhere.
That's when we thought we had a boring fight. Look at this.
What a dramatic turnaround by this unheralded, relatively unknown challenger out of Ocotlán, Mexico, Sergio Aguila. What can happen next?
That's so great. That is so
That's an incredible way to even a fight that was being shut out in the other direction.
Pick that right hand up. Give me that towel over there, Eddie. Here. Look. Here. Here. Pick that right hand up, Tim. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. You're
all right, here comes a replay of the knockdown. Just when he's just throwing light, and that left hook catches him right. It's a counter left hook, and it catches him right on the jaw. Wow.
He throws a slow right hand out there and brings it back slow, and he doesn't. I'm telling you, Freddie, I guarantee he never saw that left hook.
I got to. All right, the point's taken away because, as Bobby or somebody said here, he grabbed hold of the ropes and he wouldn't let go.
Right here you'll see he grabs the back of the rope. See
he's
holding
right
onto the ropes,
yeah,
and he's not allowing the referee to break, and that's illegal.
But he bought himself a nice 15, 20 seconds there by the time he took the points away and all that stuff.
What a dramatic round. Do you think Austin came into this fight a little too cocky?
You know, he didn't appear that way. He appeared to be business as usual, but you know, sometimes if you get caught looking, I can't explain it to you. It's happened to me a couple times. Your feet disappear, and if you don't have the natural resilience to bounce right back, sometimes you can stay gone.
Well, he was clocked by a big left hook by this challenger, Sergio Aguila, who was way down on points over the first 3 rounds. We're now round 5.
And if you watch that replay that we showed, it seems that the same way he got knocked, got his jaw broken by Botelli, the same type of thing where he turned, and the left hook was right there, so he's making the same mistake.
Big 10-7 round for Aguila in the 4th round.
And 10-7 evens this fight for you folks at home. It's 37-37. What a wake-up call. What a wake-up call from Tim.
Tim Austin down for the first time. Well, let's see if Aguila can pick up.
Well, all he's doing is he's furnishing a bag for Austin. Austin is really powering him.
Austin's got everything back now, don't you think? All of his faculties, he is sharp again.
I think there's a little, you get a nice right hand
Just got hit as I say that.
I think he has still a little bit of a strength factor missing.
Sapped a little bit.
There's a little bit, I think, sapped. He's still got most of his boxing skills all there. There's a little piece of resilience, durability gone.
Bouncing left hooks off the head of Aguila, but Aguila presses forward. Well, he's a brave young man.
He must have a heck of a bunch to deck him that hard. I mean, that must have been a colossal. I think just what Bobby says is right. You didn't see it coming.
Yeah, I think that's what it caught. See, even if you get hit with a hammer, you see it coming, your body will brace, your mind will brace your body.
As you're talking, that was a pretty heavy left hook offered up by Austin. This kid from Mexico showing a good chin.
And Austin showing a little bit of caution. I mean, he's not up there just bopping a bit, but he's a little cautious, moving away.
Side to side, bobbing and weaving. Doesn't want to stand right in front of Aguila. There's another left hand by Aguila, and it's tagging him. There, he slips and slides and counters.
Well, Aguila, he landed the one good left hook, and then he telegraphed that second one. You could see it a mile away.
just when you think Austin's in a spot of trouble, he comes right back. Looks impressive.
Yeah, he's looked good this round. He's looked good this round. He's back.
And he seems to have it all back now. Still with that cut around the right eye, though. And he's got that jab working at the bill.
Sergio, está jalando ya mucho aire.
As we press on to the IBF Bantamweight Championship, we enter into round 6. Who would have, many people thought the fight would have been over by now. Not only that, but the fact that Austin was knocked down is also a mystery to a lot of people, but not to Sergio Aguila.
Well, if you watch, Aguila's not really a big puncher. He threw a nice shot. He turned in with it well. And Austin didn't see it, and he turned into the punch badly.
Well, he's lucky he got up.
Well, that'll tell you something about the Cincinnati kid also. Yeah, he did get up.
He does get up. Can't do that with a forearm, but he just did it.
Austin just waiting for that opening, seemingly very patient, but he's been almost a little too patient here.
Yeah, well, that jab is barely touching him. Austin's jab is barely touching him, but it's keeping him off.
Yeah, that's what they were saying in the Aguila corner. Roberto Alcala.
Just tapping. Just tapping. Measuring is what they say.
Keep in mind, Austin's fighting. Watch out now.
Nice. Headbutt, but no cut.
Again, with a southpaw, it's going to happen. Aguila's 25-12-1 with 16 knockouts. He's been KO'd 7 times.
Now, with a record like that, do you think he would be any chance against Austin? And look what he's doing.
But he has improved his game over the last 4 or 5 years.
Well, you know, his game's improved, and he got a combination of, I don't know, I hate to call it luck because it's not a lucky punch. He threw it, he meant to hit Austin. Austin didn't block it, that's his problem. So, at the same time, Austin's clearly the better fighter, clearly the goods. You can never underestimate the guy's durability or his heart and desire to win.
And Austin has been past 4 rounds only 3 times in his career, 19 fights.
At the top of the show is one of the things I was talking about. This is only his 20th fight. Pretty young in a champion's career, only 20 fights. And you guys got Tapia 47 fights. He's still undefeated. You know, Marco Antonio Guerrero, those guys have a lot of fights. This experience factor is huge.
It looks like a little blood on. It looks like a little blood on Aguila's side where he got butted. A little blood there, not much. Oh, nice uppercut. Nice uppercut. Bopped the head back of Aguila, but it doesn't affect him. He keeps coming forward. Just getting outboxed. That's all.
Down.
But I think he's got some pepper now. He almost galloped out there like if he was a racetrack.
How about your scores at the halfway?
I've got him ahead. Austin 57 to 55.
I have it the same way. After the 4th round, it was evened out at 37-37. It's still, you look at it, 5 rounds to 1, but it's only a 2-point margin because of the point taken away and that big knockdown.
5 rounds to 1.
If you're just joining us, back in round 4, Austin surprisingly knocked down with 1:55 left in the round. Here you see what the fans at home had. They have Austin ahead convincingly.
Well, that's why you see the round system doesn't quite work, does it? Because it evened the fight out that 1 round, and you can't reflect that in rounds.
That was a 10-7 round for Aguila because a point was also taken away from Austin for holding on to the ropes.
Austin's got his confidence back now. He's sitting on his punches and he's firing. Now he's back to where I think his strength factor's back, his health factor is there. He's healthy now.
Yeah, that was a brutal right hand under the heart that he landed. Well, that's the kind that takes your legs out. It was a beautiful shot under the heart.
So you watch Austin, he'll stick the jabs, back up, back up, back up. Then he'll set that back left foot and fire him with the left hand and use good power, using the momentum and weight of Aguila coming at him to double the impact.
And the jab is much heavier than it was in the last 2 rounds when he was just tapping. Now he's going to hurt him with the jab. Now it's not a little jab, it's a jab.
Bring him up, Ben.
and honest to goodness hurt your jab. There you go. See, double.
Austin just continues to pepper the face of Aguila with the jab. Let's see if he comes through with the left hook.
Oh, nice combination.
And then follows it up with the right jab again. A couple of 2-3 right in the face. And those are more than just a probing jab. They're getting through and doing some damage.
There's the uppercut I said would land with telling effect. He leans down into it. Tailor-made.
Most of those jabs are getting through the gloves of Aguila, and then follows it up with combinations.
When Austin throws the jab, then hook off the jab and follows it with a straight left, as is being told to him in the corner by Aaron Snowell, he's so much more effective. It looks better, sets up everything.
And he is looking very good right now. Tim is looking very good. The last 2 or 3 rounds, he comes on and on and on. He's looking very good.
Well, this is now vintage Tim Austin. Beautiful technique. And meanwhile, he just ate a straight right hand by Aguila.
Well, he's entitled 1 per round.
Aguila backing the champion up, and back comes Austin with a combination.
See, Austin can fight going backwards, and Aguila cannot.
Yeah, he's very impressive in retreat. Big round for Austin.
He's looking like a racehorse coming out of the... Boy, he wants to get there. He wants to get this thing started.
It is round 8 scheduled for 12 for the IBF Bantamweight Championship.
Aguila's just not, he doesn't have the speed to even close the gap properly. When he gets there, Austin's already gone or countering him. He needs to be a little quicker and a little more often.
Again, Austin backpedaling, but he can be effective in that situation, as we've seen before. Now he's up on the balls of his feet, dancing around, looking very confident. He's in command. Pummeling the face of Aguila. Those punches being blocked for the most part by the champion. Countering combination to the head by Austin.
Aguila got a couple of good shots in there, and Austin, proceeded to block most of them and fire back. But that's not Austin's fight. He's giving Aguila a chance if he stays there.
Austin perhaps taking this man a little too lightly coming in. Start reading those press clippings. You know what can happen. Straight left.
Oh, that's holding this guy up. He just got gone 2 great right hand. The left hand.
Austin just banging shots off the face of Aguila, and Aguila's got some chin. Again.
And he fired a nice counter right on Austin, although right now,
to the head, Aguila's in trouble.
That hurt him. I think that broke his nose.
And he just steps down to 1 knee. He looks like he wants no more of this.
Don't hit him when the man is down.
You're right, Bobby. I think you're right.
Austin hit him while he was down.
Wait a minute.
Stay in the corner.
Austin hit him with a right hook while he was clearly
You
down.
hit him when the man was down.
You're right.
Are you all right?
Jorge Alonso is making that point.
¿Vamos a seguir?
Uh-oh.
Huh? Let's go.
He's lucky. The Mexican said, let's keep on going. What if he just said, no, I can't take it anymore? What would we have done?
Well, I think the fight's over then.
Well, Aguila's in trouble. Austin continues to pour it on. Aguila could be fighting with a broken nose now. The pain must be unbearable.
Solid shots from Austin, but he can't put him down. He's a tough kid. He's still hanging in here.
He's been down 2 times in his career, the man in the white trunks.
And he's getting ready to go down again.
Believe it or not, a broken nose isn't really that bad. It stings a little bit when you get hit good, but I fought with a broken nose a couple of times.
Afterwards, he doesn't feel too good.
No, it swells up and gets real nasty.
Despite his difficulty, Aguila continues to punch back. He is a gallant fighter.
The interesting thing now is, did they count that a knockdown? He didn't count over him. He said he hit him when he's down, therefore he let him go without a knockdown.
It was a knockdown, but I think what happened is that he just gave him the extra time because of the foul.
But did they count it? Does that make it a 10-8 round, or does he go down? Corner. Let's look at this corner.
Over here. Mario.
All right, let's look. Once he gets him in trouble. Once you see his legs are giving way, he goes down. He'll go down, but the punches continue. Now let's watch. His knees are, now he goes down voluntarily and he gets hit twice.
Yeah, but his knee did not touch the canvas when he was hit by Austin. That may have been an erroneous call.
That's correct. His knee didn't look like he quite reached the canvas, even though he took a passive position, what looked like on the floor.
And that's what Aaron Snowell was claiming. I can't see it there.
When a guy gets down to that position, he's not praying. I mean, he's not genuflecting. He's hurt.
Well, you could probably hear Jim Gray in the background informing us the doctor finding that the nose is not broken, but it's not good.
That's a
Doctor finding that the nose is not broken, but it's not good. That's my medical assessment.
That's a perceptive thought.
Thank you. Well, round 9. And it's not looking good for Sergio Aguila here, who actually knocked Austin down in the 4th round.
Well, Bobby, did you score that a 10-8 round as if it were a knockdown?
I did score a 10-8 round, especially when the referee said you hit him when you're down. That clearly indicates that he's down, although he had the knee literally like 4 inches off the canvas. It appeared to be down, and you have to really be looking at his knee to see that it wasn't on the ground.
The only way
that's a knockdown.
The only way he could get a 10-8 round on my scorecard, which he did, was because he got a good king-size beating. Oh, last time he did overwhelm him in it.
I think a lot of people would have given Austin a 10-8 round. That last round, round 8. And Aguila goes down.
4, 5,
I think he has no point in getting him. I hope he doesn't get brave.
8, 9.
Yeah, he's taking the mouthpiece out. It's all over. He didn't want to continue in the last round. You could see it.
Yeah, and rightly so. He was getting beaten. He had no chance whatsoever.
Austin applies the punctuation mark here in round 9. It's over. Tim Austin retains the title. Now 19-0-1 with 18 knockouts. But things looked a little hairy there for a while. Some anxious moments for the champion, but he was able to come back strong.
Scary just when you think that everything is going your way, you find yourself on a canvas looking up. That is scary.
I can't explain to you guys how much of a distress feeling it is to wind up on the floor and not see what put you there.
That's a lot different from having your jaw busted, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, and you could be brave, but then all of a sudden you find yourself down for the first time.
And your legs aren't working properly and nothing feels well.
And you got to get up. That's the bad part. And something says, get up, Bobby, you're down. That's the bad part. Get up and get some more of this.
Happy birthday to my little niece. Happy birthday, baby.
He's got three children. He's talking to his niece. Happy birthday.
And his first kid when he's 18.
Yep. 3 daughters. And here is the loser. And that's the face of a loser. But he gets consoled by the champion, Tim Austin. But a valiant effort by the Mexican, Aguila.
Let's take a look at the end of the round, and it was clearly written. His punches are accurate. They're hurting him. Austin is right on top of the case, and you know he's not going to let him off the hook. The man voluntarily goes down and makes a judgment call.
Yeah, it's just Austin has piled up so many points. He's starting to really hurt him. I don't know if the nose isn't broken, but something was hurting him in the face, especially. You could see him wincing more often after that one combination. And here he just says, "Okay, I've had enough. I can't win this fight. It's over."
Well, he won't know about the nose until he X-rays it. Nobody can make that call to you X-ray unless you can move it around with your hand.
Well, he's going to have a nice headache in the morning.
But he took a hard beating. He took a hard beating there.
Austin now 4-0 in world title fights, and obviously the most attractive bantamweight showdown would be Austin versus Tapia. Like to see Austin versus Julio as well. All right, we're set for the official word. Here's Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute 10 seconds of round number 9. Our referee in charge reaches the count of 10. He's the winner by way of knockout and still the undefeated IBF Bantamweight champion of the world, the Cincinnati Kid, Tim Austin.
Well, we'll see if a unification process gets underway now for Tim Austin. That's what should happen. Certainly aside from Austin Tapia or Austin Julio, Austin on a Conadu might work. Perhaps Paulie Ayala, who's coming up through the bantamweight ranks. Very impressive young fighter. Danny Romero. Could he move up eventually to 126? He says that's his walking around weight. Says it shouldn't be a problem. There's a fellow named Prince Nassim Hamed lurking. Let's go up to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you, Steve. Tim, you went down in the 4th round. For the first time in your career, you were in complete control of this fight until that punch. What happened there?
Well, you know, just like every champion, they get hit with a great shot. But I got back off the canvas and won a fight like a champion.
You were stunned, and he had an opportunity to put you away. What was going through your mind at that time?
Well, I just knew that I was backing up and with my hands down, and I got caught with a lucky shot.
Did you take him a little too lightly?
No, I didn't. I was preparing, you know, hard training, dedicating myself for this fight, and I just didn't know what this guy constantly had, but he was a great fighter.
In professional fighting in these days, with all of the videotape available and all of the media that is available, will you ever not look at the videotapes or see your opponent live before you fight another one?
Well, you know, Jim, styles make fights, and I didn't practice a style for this fight. And was
that a mistake?
I put a style together just like a champion would do when he had to adjust with a different style, because you see them on the tape, they don't fight the same as you do when you fight them yourself.
Now you will go on. You've talked about wanting to unify the title. You're back in the locker room. You saw Jorge Julio and the struggles that he had with Gamboa. Would you like to face either of those fighters, particularly Julio, now to try and bring some of this together?
Well, you know, Jim, I don't turn down no fights. You know, anyone come to the table, I'm going to fight them as long as the money right.
Johnny Tapia included?
Johnny Tapia, all of the fighters that's moving up to this weight division, and if Johnny Tapia want to unify, I will unify my title with him.
Are you disappointed in your performance tonight?
Not really, Jim. Like I said, I didn't have a style to come into this fight, so I had to put together a style, and it worked out the best for me.
All right, the Cincinnati Kid victorious tonight. Congratulations, Timmy.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, let's send it back now to Steve Albert.
All right, Jim, let's check the online scoring results from our main event, the IBF Bantamweight Championship, and it was all Tim Austin as far as the fans had it, 8 rounds to 1. If you took part, we thank you for your participation. Back here with my ringside partners, first the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco. While Tim Austin is a very good champion, there's no question he's one of the best fighters, maybe in the top 10 in the world. I beg to differ with him. I think it would behoove him to watch the tape. No matter how he can get a hold of a tape, I think it only can be to his advantage.
Well, boxers feel very differently about that. Some people say, I don't want to see what he's done because he's going to come at me differently. Other people that are, and especially more intelligent ones like Bobby, who can break down things and look at tape and figure it out, like to look at tape. I mean, I'm from the old school. I figure a guy comes in and you don't know what he's got. You've got to adjust to what he's going to do that day. What he did in previous fights fools you. Sometimes you're looking for things that never will happen again. So I'm not of that school. I'm of the school. This is boxing. This is one man against the other. It isn't that complicated.
All right, let's turn to our intelligent colleague here, former world champion Bobby Chez. After all is said and done, money is a factor, isn't it?
See that money and fame, they do factor in there after all, Steve. Assuming Timmy Austin give it that, if the price is right.
Yeah,
so
right.
After all, money, all of a sudden it's a big factor.
All right, well, as we wind things down, let's go back and take a look at the highlights of tonight's boxing from the Miami Highlight Fronton. And this is the first fight between Jorge Julio and Julio Gamboa, and it was a thriller.
Well, that was action bell to bell. If this is the final round, where it seemed like the champion had to win this to win, and of course he did win. Gamboa won the last round, so it looked like Gamboa had won the fight. But we had another one of those split decisions, but it was very close. Everybody had it 1 or 2 points away, indicating what it really was, a very close fight where they didn't want to give the title away.
Main event.
Well, and Austin, he's pitching a shutout till that moment happens, and the fight gets evened up after 4 rounds. It was 37-37, but he picked his stuff up, got off the canvas, got himself back in form, and did what he had to do to stop the very gallant Aguila, just overmatched.
And the end of the fight, Bobby.
You know, he's starting to land too much now, and Aguila, he had his one shot in the sun. He had his brief moment. The window was open and closed right after the 4th round. No more windows ever opened up.
And a final check of tonight's results. Jorge Julio wins the Battle of Julios, retains his WBO Bantamweight belt in controversial fashion. It is time to unify the division, fight another Bantamweight champ. And Tim Austin, remaining undefeated, continues his reign as IBF Bantamweight champion, still seeking the recognition he thinks he deserves. Just a reminder, we invite you to join us again next month for a boxing twin bill as WBA super lightweight champ Shambe Mitchell faces Reggie Green, and WBC middleweight champion Hassan Sharifi takes on Keith Holmes in a rematch. That is Saturday, April 24th at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on Showtime. That'll do it for another edition of Showtime Championship Boxing. We hope you enjoyed it. See you again April 24th for the Fight Doctor Freddie Pacheco, Bobby Ches, Jim Gray, and our entire crew, Steve Albert, saying so long from Miami.